You're probably watching this video because your heart's stuck diamond and you really want to get masters for the first time, or you're a masters player and you want to try to get pred. Now these tips and tricks are going to help you regardless of whether you're on console or on PC, because I'm a 9x Apex Predator. I've been number 4 in arenas and number 5 in BR, and I played console almost like my entire Apex or entire journey of me playing Apex, and I've switched to PC recently in season 21, and I've held PC pred as well. So I have a lot of experience in both console and PC to really help y'all out. Now, these 5 tips I'm going to give y'all are not going to suddenly change your rank, because we're talking about top 0.1% of the player base. If it was so easy to rank up off my tips, everyone would be masters in pred. So I want y'all to get that straight. But hopefully these tips can help you to make your journey as easy as possible and to maximize your RP gainage. And I was never one of those players that was pred from like the first season of them playing Apex. Like, I know a lot of people that started playing the game at season 2 and 3, they got pred and they were pred from there forever since. That was not me. I was hard stuck plat, hard stuck diamond, like you guys too. But after me playing the game and really trying to improve, I've eventually hit pred after playing the game for so long. So I can really relate to y'all when you tell me that, you know, solo queuing is tough, you get bad teammates, or you genuinely just don't know what to do and don't know how to improve. So from a person that has been hard stuck like me, I'm going to give y'all the best tips that I possibly could give you guys to try to improve and try to gain RP in these masters and high pred lobbies, because we're talking about really high elo. These lobbies are not easy. They're not like, I'm not gonna just give you these 5 tips and you're gonna suddenly win every game. Alright, so let me just quit the yapping and let's get straight to it. Alright, so the first tip might seem really obvious, but it's really important. So the first tip is to avoid as many initial negs as possible. So what I mean is like dying off drop. This is probably the worst way to die, because no matter what, you're gonna take a neg. And especially in these masters and diamond pred lobbies, you're losing up to 100 RP if you die off drop, which is like such a big amount, and that's gonna put you in a really bad mindset if you take a neg 100. Because let's say you hop on the game, right? It's your first game on and you lose a neg 100. That means you have to regain at least 100 points, which is probably like a top 5 with like a few KP, like 6 to 8 KP to get your points back, which is not easy to do, right? Which is why you need to land safely and try to play off third party fights, and probably not like take a off drop fight, because off drop fights have a lot to do with RNG. Like, you could have they could get the best attachments in the world even though you're sharing a POI. Like, they could get a fully kitted Hemlock with a fully kitted Havoc and they would just run you guys down. And also, with the new Evo Cache, they spawn randomly. They're random spawns. And if you guys don't know what Evo Cache does, if you collect the Evo Cache, it's gonna give you 300 Evo points, which are gonna get you, you know, blue armor as fast as possible. And if you have blue off drop, that's gonna give you already such a massive advantage, right? So you shouldn't put the amount of RP you gain based on RNG and like risk taking that neg 100. Obviously, I've said in other videos that taking a fight off drop is going to be good, but not really for these high elo lobbies. But this is unless you're really confident in your fighting ability. If you're confident in fighting and you know that your team can win a 3v3 like with a high probability, then go for it, because that's going to give you a free 3 KP off drop, and that's going to give your like confidence a boost to the rest of the game, because you're gonna be confident when you're taking other fights because you've already won such an important fight. And sometimes landing with a team off drop is inevitable. Let's say some team swerves on you when you were trying to land alone, then you're going to want to obviously fight. You don't want to run away from an off drop fight, because that's going to give you really bad loot, and you'd rather take the neg 100 than play a game where you don't have loot the entire game, and which is why I recommend that you guys land in a POI that's easy to 3v3, easy to 50-50, right? Such POIs are Oasis. Like, Oasis is pretty easy to fight in because you have 2 big towers that both teams can share, and you guys can, you know, probably get the equal amount of loot, and it's gonna make it way easier for you to fight. Unlike a POI such as like Dome or like Hamid Labs, that's gonna be such a bad POI for you to fight off drop in, because you can't really share loot. It's just one big house where you guys are, you know, fighting, and with probably not the best loot. Those POIs don't have very good loot. You want to try to land in a POI that is evenly distributed based on loot. And some POIs that are good to 3v3 in are Grow Towers in Olympus. That's one of my favorite POIs to land in, because if a team tries to contest you, you can just land on the other 2 Grow Towers, and that's not really a big problem. You could also land in like Gardens, because if a team tries to contest you at Gardens, you can swerve to Clinic, which has pretty good loot as well, and then you can go fight Gardens, or you can even land Clinic initially and try to like third party a fight in Gardens. That's also another thing I like to do as well. Some other POIs are Stacks and Big Mod. That's really good, because if a team lands Mod, you can go Stacks. If a team lands Stacks, you can go Mod, vice versa, right? And Stacks is also a pretty easy POI to 3v3 in, especially if there's no team at Mod. But be careful when you're fighting in Stacks, because there's POIs that can third it very easily, like if a team lands Mod or if a team lands Dome. But most of the time I like fighting at Stacks. I feel like it's pretty easy to take a 3v3. Alright, my next tip is going to be you must 3-stack. Now respectfully, you are not gonna hold Pred through solo queue. There has been probably, I can't even, like, probably 5 people that have held Pred through solo queue. And those are players that are very, very talented. Those players have been playing the game for a long time. They've been Pred, which is probably why they can do such a thing. But most of the time, you cannot solo queue to Pred. Which is why I highly recommend you try to find a consistent team through Discord LFGs, Xbox LFGs. And be careful who you play with, and pick carefully, because some people in those LFGs are just not gonna be the best, or they're gonna be one of those people that scream at you constantly just because you took a neg. You want to surround yourself with people that have a good mindset. They're not gonna get mad at you over some bad games. They're gonna try to get better and improve with you, which is going to be the best type of people. And also, just solo queue is really bad because you're putting your RP based on RNG. Sometimes you have good teammates, sometimes you have bad teammates, and when you do have bad teammates, you're going to be taking a lot of initial negs, which what I was talking about, right? You don't want to take those neg 100s, and some solo queue teammates just don't know how to swerve when you're landing with 3 teams. They just don't get the concept of trying to land separately. Or some people even just want to fight every team without even thinking, which is really, really bad, because they're going to be aping teams alone and just dying for free, which is putting your RP at risk. Now that was a pretty generic tip that I'm pretty sure like most of you guys already know, which is why in my third tip I want to tell y'all a pretty specific tip, which is to keep your top 5 streak. Now if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a new feature they added in ranked, where if you get top 5 times in a row, it gives you 50 RP. Which is really, really big. Like if you get top 5 times in a row, you can even go positive without getting any KP, which is going to increase the amount of chances that you can go positive. And with even like 3 KP or 3 to 6 KP with a top 5, with that top 5 streak, that's gonna give you like plus 100s, plus 120s, which is gonna stack up. That 50 RP really does stack up, because if you think about it, if you get like top 5 times in a row and you win like 2 games in a row, that's already a plus 100 you're looking at, which you're not even doing anything for. You're not you don't have to do a specific challenge or something to get that. You can literally just go for top 5 every game with decent KP, and that RP is going to stack up. This sort of connects to my 4th tip, because my 4th tip is running good legend comps. Like for example, some good legend comps are going to be Rev Path Lifeline or Rev Path with another support character. Now running a support character is going to be vital, because you're going to be able to reset when your team dies. Sometimes in Pred or Pred and Diamond lobbies, some things are really just uncontrollable. Like a team could do some really, really dumb stuff, and that could get you killed, which is out of your control, right? Which is why you want to be running a support character where one of your teammates can run away and craft banners and get a hard reset. I've had games where I had a support character and we died and we got a reset and we ended up winning the game. Like having a support character on your game can literally win you games, which is why I really encourage you guys to run a support character every game. Now, why I say Rev Path, I think Rev is good because, you want an aggro character on your team. You want a character that could be on the front lines and, I guess baiting themselves in a way so that you guys can get damaged. For example, getting a wide angle or being the first one in the fight so your teammates can have free shots on your enemies. or Path, which is a recon character. As I've said, having a recon character is going to be really essential because you're going to be able to hit the recon beacons or the man scans, which are going to tell you where everyone is on the map, which is going to help you in your decision making, because you're going to know which fights you want to take, which fights are isolated, and which fights around you can be third partyable for you to get KP. This is really, really important. So having your support character can help you get better top 5 streaks and can help you get resets in games where, you know, you can't really control why you died. You can run like a recon character so that you can scan the beacon, know where people are around you, and then you want to run a aggressive character like Rev, Horizon, even Octane to be on the front lines and sort of be the one that's attacking and putting in damage for your team in fights. Now, my final tip is to keep a good mindset. Now, I really recommend that if you go more than neg 500, you get off the game, because it really is not worth it. If you're playing if you're playing ranked in that mindset where you're like, one more win can get me all my RP back, that is a horrible mindset to get, because if you are constantly losing RP because your teammates, your solo queue teammates are just not, you know, the best, or you and your main stack are not really cooperating or like coordinating your fights good enough, you guys are not calming enough, or your teammates in a bad mood, those little things are gonna make you not win fights, and is gonna make you lose RP. Which is why I recommend that if you get a few negs off drop, like if you get like 2 to 3 negs off drop, maybe try to find another team or just get off for the day. I know getting off on a neg is a terrible feeling, because you're just down on the day after playing for so long, and it can be a depressive feeling. But I'm telling you, bro, I have friends that have gone neg 500, they don't get off, and they've gone neg 2,000 or 1,000, which is not what you want to get, right? And I would also recommend getting off after you get a few good games. Like if you get like 2 to 3 wins and you're up like around 750 or 1,000 on the day, I would just get off, because you do not want to risk losing all that RP you gain based off factors that you can't control. And especially in Masters and Pred, where you're losing neg 100s a game, you do not want to like risk your RP at all. If you gain a good amount, I would say just get off, because you don't want to risk, you know, losing that RP because your solo queue teammates are bad or whatever, right? Which is why keeping a good mindset is good. You need to know when you want to play and when you don't want to play. Know your good maps that you play on. If you're a Olympus type of guy, make sure to play on Olympus. If you don't like World's Edge or Broken Moon or whatever, don't play when that map is out, because that's gonna make you lose RP, and you don't want to lose RP. So having a good mindset is good. Don't rage just because you took a few negs. You know, you can easily gain that RP back, and you don't want to be in that mindset where you're like, one more game, give me a plus 200, I'll get my RP back. You just don't want to be in that state. I know how that feels like, and every time I've played when I'm thinking like that, my games have gone bad. Alright, that's going to be the end of the video. That's going to be my 5 tips. I hope these tips can actually help you guys, because I genuinely want to be different from these other YouTubers that give such generic tips that we like all know. I want to be different, and I want to really like give genuine tips so that you guys can really improve on the game. And I feel like I can relate to a lot of y'all when I say I've been hard stuck plat and diamond. Like I was really hard stuck. I had like a 1 KD and I was desperate to get diamond, and now I'm one of the best console players. I've peaked number 4, you know, number 5, and I've held PC Pred. You know, I just have so much more experience now, and I feel like I have so much more experience and so much, like, I don't know how to say it, like I can just give a lot of advice because I've been through the struggles that you guys are going through right now. Alright, I feel like I've yapped a lot this video, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support recently. It's like, I'm so happy that y'all are really enjoying these videos, and hopefully, you know, y'all keep on enjoying these videos. I'm thinking of doing a solo queue to Masters, which I've been streaming, like, trying to stream. I actually had my first YouTube stream recently, so I want to try to get into streaming on YouTube as much as possible. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.